Okay. One more minute and we'll get started, everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. All right, let's get it started. Well, thanks for joining the class today. Really excited to have everyone. As you know, we meet every Sunday and we learn about Hindi language. And for those of you who are completely new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hindi University. You can also find out all the details, as I always say, like, by going to this page called tiny.cc/Hindi University. And, you'll be able to find all the details, such as like, how to join the Hindi class, like which Zoom link we use to join the Hindi class, which book we are following, which is the Teach Yourself Hindi book. You can get a soft link of, that book as well. And also the Hindi University YouTube playlist where we have all the previous videos, the time when we meet, every Sunday. And similarly, you can find details about the practice classes that we do on a regular basis. So you'll find the schedule of it as well as how to join the practice sessions. Um, as I mentioned, we've been following the book from Professor Rupert Snell called Teach Yourself Hindi. If you missed any of the previous classes, you can watch all the videos here systematically, and you have the list of the details of the topics as well. We'll be starting a new topic today, chapter 14. It's sort of an advanced topic, so I do expect you to have some familiarity with the Hindi verbs, verb conjugation, compound verbs, postpositions. Once again, like we try to break it down, we simplify it. So if you need any help, you have me, you have all your colleagues, who are learning, and you can share your experiences with them. Okay. Um, if you want to know all the previous videos that we have done, you can find them here in this Hindi University library. And we have a pretty good tool where you can, based on your level, you can filter and learn specific topic that you are interested in. If you're to give you an example, if you're interested in just the Hindi, passive voice, right? From the previous videos we did on active and passive voice, you can filter it down and you can select those videos. Okay, so that way you don't have to search through all the entire YouTube channel that we have. Okay. One tip is, like, as you know that we are doing this Teach Yourself Hindi book, right? There are many things that are there in this page, which may not be easy to navigate. Like, so I thought I'll give you a quick tip. So Rupert Snell doesn't write, the Romanagri text for everything that is there in the book. Okay, so where do you find the details? So we have this link called Romanagri text on Teach Yourself Hindi book page. If you click on it, and it will have the Romanagri write-up of entire Teach Yourself Hindi book. Okay, pretty amazing resource if you're just getting started and you're like, how do I read this thing? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you can really click on this link, go to a particular chapter or exercise, and I mean, again, it may require some work, so feel free to share any feedback you have. It's the entire work is done by Leah Ji, so we will be glad to get your feedback as well on that. Okay. So with that being in mind, let's get started with the class. As I said, our focus for today's class is to primarily go over chapter number 14 in the beginning, and 1 minute. Okay. Okay. So, right. So as I said, like, we'll go over the chapter 14, and if you have any questions, we'll take it from there. So let's get started. This chapter in the beginning, it focuses on active and passive voice. Okay, so it's called the active versus passive voice. As I said, it's an advanced topic, but I'll try my best to break it down for you guys. And if you still have any suggestions, please share that. So first of all, what is a passive voice? Okay, mostly when we what we have formed the sentences so far, we've always said in a particular manner where subject, is performing some action, right? You can say that, Shelly eats apple, or you can say Stacy, she cleans the house, or you can say Adam, ordered an iPhone. Okay, in all these cases, the focus is on the subject that performed the action. Okay, all these cases, as you can see. Now, there are cases, and typically in all the scientific writing, the professors will always encourage you to write in active voice because they don't prefer any ambiguity there, right? But there are cases where you want to emphasize on the action that is being performed. There are cases where you want to emphasize on the action that is performed rather than the doer of the action. Rather than the doer of the action. Like, you don't care who did it. All that matters in what you want to say in Hindi or English or any of the language is what is being done. Okay. Those cases are known as passive voices or passive cases. Okay. Now, why do we need them? Like, aren't we just happy with active cases? Well, the answer is true. Like, most of the work can be done in the active voices. But as I said, like, sometimes, you want to highlight the action that has been done. Okay. Sometimes you don't want to express who did it. And that could be by choice. You do not want to reveal. Sometimes you don't want to reveal who did it. Okay. Sometimes you do not want to reveal because you do not know it. You may not know it. There can be many cases around why, why do you are not sharing the details of the subject. Okay. I'll give you some more examples so that way it is very clear about how to really go about it. And even if you don't know how to formally say all these, even in English, if you do not know, formally how to say all the passive voices. Okay, I'm gonna just still break it down at least in Hindi so you are familiar with it. So let's say your example is Stacy cleans the house. Simple sentence is written in present indefinite, as you can tell. Present indefinite. Right? Stacy cleans the house. To clean is saaf karna. Okay. House, as you know, is ghar. Stacy is the subject. And she's performing the action. Right? She is doing this action. Okay. Now, in English, if you were to say it in passive voice, you will simply say the house is cleaned. You can, or you may or you may not want to say by Stacy. Okay, the focus is not right now. In the second case, the focus is not Stacy. The focus is really that the house is being cleaned. Okay. Now there are different rules for it because this sentence was written in present indefinite. We used is cleaned. Okay. If the same sentence was written as like the Stacy is cleaning the house, you will say the house is being cleaned. Okay. In English, you have some rules. Similarly, we will learn about the rules in Hindi as well. The same sentence, if it was written as Stacy cleaned the house. Stacy cleaned the house. I'm going to just do a quick primer on English, okay? But the focus will be Hindi pretty soon, okay? It was written in past indefinite, as such as like Stacy cleaned the house. In English, you will simply say the house was being cleaned. The house was clean, not being cleaned. Okay, the house was cleaned. Okay, and if it was written in past tense, Stacy was cleaning. In English, it was the house was being cleaned. Okay. The point being is like there are different cases and tenses where you can say where the subject may be performing the action. Okay. Accordingly, you will say the passive case. Okay. In whichever language you are working on. Okay. So we'll start our journey with very simple cases where we first learn to say things in the present indefinite case, and then we'll gradually move towards present continuous, then we'll go to past indefinite, past continuous, and then future indefinite. Rupert Snell, in his examples, when he starts with that, he just combines everything, but we'll go one by one. So you feel comfortable not only saying it in different tenses, but when they will be used. Okay. It can be used in essay, it can be used in particular situations. So we'll go over that. So the first thing you need to learn when you are doing the passive voices is like the verb conjugation. Okay, so there are some rules. I'm going to write it down. So there is some theory, so hang in there. And then once this is clear, hopefully it should be pretty smooth journey for you guys. Okay, so let's take very, very simple cases, right? In the, let's say the verb is bolna. Okay, bolna is to speak. Now the same, if the sentence is Hindi is spoken, let's say I want to say in India. Among many other languages, Hindi is spoken in India. Now you see, I didn't write, Indian people or people in India, they speak Hindi. I wrote this sentence in passive voice. Hindi is spoken, right? Now, how do I say spoken? I know to speak is bolna. How do I say spoken in Hindi? What is the word conjugation rule? So the rule are, first, you will write this verb in the past perfect form. So which is, we will say bola. And in the past, as you know, like you say, I spoke, which is main bola. That's how you will say it, right? Main bola. Now, along with that, you will use an auxiliary word called jana. Okay. Now, when you're conjugating it, you're primarily conjugating the jana part. Okay. Bear with me. This is hard. I'll try to say it again. So you take the verb bolna, you write it in the past form. So bolna becomes bola. And you will add an auxiliary verb with it, which is called jana. Okay. Now you will see this sentence. This sentence is written in present indefinite. Okay. And as you know, in present indefinite, the rules are you remove the na from the verb and you put ta, te, and ti. Right? So, Girka, how will you say? It would be bola plus.
It will be bola.
Yeah.
Bola jata.
Very good. Bola jata. And because when you look at the gender of it, you will look at the Hindi, whether it is masculine or feminine. So it is
Feminine.
yes. So it will be Hindi.
Hindi Bharat mein boli jati.
Very good. So bola becomes boli and then it becomes jati. Okay, so you can say India mein Hindi boli jati hai. Okay, or it could be simple like yahan Hindi boli jati hai. Okay, bear with me. Okay, this is I have to give multiple examples here so it's easier. Okay, so just to repeat, you take the verb. So now you know spoken, it always will automatically become for present indefinite bola jata or boli jati. Okay, if the subject you're talking about, not the subject, but the topic you're talking about, it's masculine, then it'll become bola jata. Okay. If it is feminine, then it is boli jati. Let me erase it and let's look at some more verbs. And let's first master the word conjugation. So let's say if the verb here is now khelna. Khelna is, who would like to ask Radhika ji? What is khelna in Hindi?
To play.
To play.
Right.
Yeah. So how will you say what is the word conjugation to play in the passive cases? So it will be
Khela,
khela plus
jana.
jana. Very good, right? Khela plus jana. Now, however you want to say it, if you want to say it in present indefinite, it will be jata, jati, and jate. For present continuous, as you know, it's ja raha, ja rahi, and ja rahe. So we'll learn that all of those, soon. Okay. Right now, let's just master the word conjugation. So bolna becomes bola plus jata, jana. Okay. Let's look at some more examples. Likhna. Likhna. Who would say that? Kelly ji, you want to try it out? Likhna.
To write.
Right. How would you split it?
Lika plus jana.
Likha plus jana. Okay, likha jana. Let's do some more. Kehna. Let's see who would like to take this one. Kahna. Vedant, you want to?
Kehna jana.
Okay.
Kehna
So
jata.
what is kehna?
I don't know actually.
To
Yeah.
say.
Huh? To say.
To
Very
say.
good. To say. Very good. So it would be. Say it in the
Kehna.
past. Remove.
Keha. Keha.
Kaha.
Oh, kaha jata. Jana.
Very good. Kaha jana. Okay, to say or to call. Like it is called X in German, right? So imagine those cases. That's where you are. So let's just practice. So these are the most fundamental thing when you are trying to say anything in a passive voice in Hindi. You have to first say the verb, in the past form. Okay. So as I said, bolna becomes bola, khelna becomes khela, likhna becomes likha, kehna becomes kaha, and all of them you're adding a compound verb, jana. Okay. So in your mind right now, all of you think about some words, okay, and try to say it in past form and then add jana to it and see if it makes sense. And this is the exercise for all of you. Write it in the chat box in the Zoom chat, so at least I can make sure that you are all on the same page. Okay. There are some subtle variations, but these are the most basic ones. As I'm writing some more examples, I want you to also work on the exercise. Okay, so let me erase it and let me use some more examples. And if it is not clear to some of you, please see the example that is being tried by your friends in the chat. Hopefully that will also help you. So now let's look at some more examples. Khana. Okay, khana. Let's see who would like to give this one a try. Chanel, you want to give it a try?
To eat.
How will you say it in the passive form?
Kha jana.
Say it again.
Kha jana.
Khaya jana. Very good. Khaya plus jana. Tell us, how did you come up with ya? Because so far, when we said bolna, we said bola, right? When we had khelna, we had khela. Now, all of a sudden, you put ya to it. Tell us why.
It's just the past
I
of
just
it.
love
So
it.
like
Right?
Irregular
modify.
verb.
What?
It's an irregular verb.
Okay, that's one explanation. Who else?
Because it ends with a vowel and then you end with ya.
Very good, right? So In the previous cases, when we had khelna, all we were doing were we were removing na and we were putting a, e, and e. That's how we were doing. Okay. Now in this case, we have khana. So when you remove the na, the base stem, it's a vowel. Okay, it's a vowel. So here you have the same rule, but you just put y or ya sound next to it. Okay, so that's why it becomes khaya, jana. Okay, if it is masculine plural, it would be khaye, and then again jate. If it is feminine singular, it's khai. If it is feminine plural, is khai. Okay, that's the rule here. Okay, now let's look at some more examples, and now right after that, once this is clear, the passive construction is straightforward after that. Okay, so now let's look at some more. Banana, not the fruit, but the process, right? When you, let's see who tell us this. Ted, you want to unmute yourself, Ted, and tell us what is banana?
To make
To make. Okay.
or to
And,
build.
yeah, to make or to build. Very good. And the passive.
Banaya jana.
Very good. Banaya plus jana. Same thing here. You remove the na and you see the vowel here, bana. Okay, and that's why you put banaya. Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
So then, if like I want to say idli was made, would it be idli banaya jata hai or jana hai?
So here it is. You said Italy was made.
Yeah.
Right? So you are saying it in the past form. Jana, as I said, will get conjugated based on the tense. So what is the
Okay.
form of jana?
Gaya.
Yes, there you go. So it
So
would be
idli banaya gaya. Do we need a hay at the end of that?
That's right. Italy banaya gaya. Okay.
Idli banaya gaya.
So we'll go through all the cases, all the 5 tenses I have in my mind. But once this is clear, that how you're first splitting it down, conjugating them is not hard, to be quite honest with you, because you know the rules. Okay. The first part is, why are we even doing it, and where will you use it? Like, does it come naturally to you that I can say Italy was made in certain years, okay, or Hindi is spoken in 150, like in however many number of countries, okay, or cricket is played in India. Okay, so is it coming naturally to you or not, where you're really focusing on the action that is being done? Okay, I'll give
Sorry,
one more. Yeah,
can I ask a question?
yeah,
For instance, if we want to create the passive of pina, then we say
that's what I'm.
pia jana. But if we want to say the subject is, so it's feminine, then do we say pi jati?
That's right. That's exactly right. Okay. That's the next one I had in my mind. So I'm going to just write it quickly now. So the verb is pina, okay, to drink. Okay. So it's basically, as you said, is pia plus jana. Okay. And we are assuming right now in this case is all of them are masculine singular, but the the noun that we have in the front, it's masculine singular. But as I said, this will change. Okay, if it is feminine singular, it's banai. If it is feminine singular, it's pi. If it is feminine singular, here is khai. Okay. Hopefully, at least you are clear on the this verb construction part. Okay. Now let's go over each of the cases. So we have 5 cases. We'll go over all of them. And then let's see if all the construction that we learned, is it really used directly or not. Okay, so let's start with case 1. Case number 1, which is your present indefinite. Okay, so the first examples I already gave you, which is basically you have Hindi is spoken in India. You're not interested in like who by who. Okay, you're simply saying Hindi is spoken, and as I said, like here, you will really say Hindi and then is spoken. How do you say that? You will take the verb bola plus jana. Okay, that's how you start. And then let me underline it so you know that I'm still working on it. Okay, so you will come back here and you will say Hindi, and because it is feminine, it will be boli. Okay, and because it is used in present indefinite, you will put here jati. Boli jati hai. And you put in jati because again, like it's feminine singular. Okay, so this follows the subject, the gender of the subject. Okay, Hindi boli jati hai. Now, as I write all the examples, I want you to rewrite them using your town. Okay, so for example, Yirka, you can say Czech mein, ye language boli jati hai. And you can easily say that, whenever I'm writing essay or whenever I'm explaining my town to anyone in Hindi, this is how I can say it. Okay. And it could be say as simple as like, yahan French boli jati hai, and now I'm going to do the next example. Okay. So as I'm writing these 5 examples now in present indefinite, I want you to think about it, how they apply in your local area.
Ashu Ji?
Yeah.
Yeah. It means that all the languages are feminine.
No, not really. Not all of them. So I'm gonna, as I do the next examples, you will see that they are not feminine. So if I say cricket, and don't get me on this, there are many games that are being played, but this is just for illustration purposes, right? So cricket is played. So let's say I say in India. Why don't you tell me, Anish ji, how will you say it in Hindi?
इंडिया में क्रिकेट खेला जाता है.
Very good, right? So India में cricket. What is the verb here was khelna. And let me write it down here, khelna plus jana. How did you come up with it now? Tell us. India में cricket.
खेला जाता है.
Why? Why khela?
Because it's masculine.
What is masculine?
Cricket.
Very good. Okay, so India में cricket khela. And why jata?
Jata because it's the usual present indefinite form.
Okay, why not?
You remove the na and you put the ta or ti if it's feminine, and hai it's the.
Awesome. Right. So यहाँ cricket खेला जाता है. Okay. I don't have to say India mein. If I'm talking to you about my city, you know about it, right? I mean, so, and again, this is just an example. Don't try to, argue on like why cricket, right? Because that's not the focus here. You can say badminton, tennis, football. Again, like as I'm writing all these, I want to see how you can rewrite them for your town or your area. Okay. I can ask you a question as well, like France में क्या खेला जाता है? It's an interrogative question, like France में क्या खेला जाता है? What is the commonly, a played game in France? How will you respond to that, Anish ji?
France में football खेला जाता है.
Yeah, you responded in passive voice. Okay. You're not saying like the French people, they play football. You're saying, is played. Okay. So hopefully this is clear. Hopefully the use case is also clear as when and how you will use it. Okay. We are still on case number 1. Let's write some more. Many festivals are celebrated. Many festivals are celebrated. So if you don't know the verb for celebrate, you can just say celebrate karna right now till you know the verb here. So let's see someone who has not tried it before. Okay, Vatsalaji, you want to give it a try? many festivals are celebrated.
I don't know what festival is in Hindi.
You can still use it. It's okay.
बहुत festivals celebrate किए जाते हैं.
Awesome, right? बहुत festivals. You can say festivals or you can say त्योहार. त्योहार celebrate
Banana.
किए जाते हैं. Okay, so you see the verb was karna, okay, which because it's masculine plural becomes kiye. Okay, karna is also an irregular verb, right? So kiye jate hain. Okay, same thing you can say about your city, like, you know, I can ask let's say Ted, right? I mean, I can ask you like New Zealand में और Australia में कौन सा festival celebrate किया जाता है? How would you respond to that? You have to unmute yourself.
Not much happens in Australia, really.
Say it. You can say,
Festival-wise,
yeah.
They just had the America Cup.
Australia में festivals नहीं celebrate किए जाते हैं.
So that's also a legit answer, grammatically correct. यहाँ ज़्यादा festival celebrate नहीं किए जाते. Okay. But New Year celebrate किया जाता है, right? I mean, when you see the lighting on the Opera House, they're amazing. I've never been there, but you know, they look pretty amazing. Okay. Anyway, you get the point, right? I mean, you get the point of how to say it. Now I'm going to do.
Actually,
yeah.
Jirka has a very interesting question. I was also wondering.
Yeah.
So he was just asking, where did the hein come from at the end of the sentence now?
Yeah.
The last one we just did. Bahut Chohar celebrate kiye jati hai.
Yeah.
Suddenly the hai appears there from the verb to be. So where does it come from?
Because it's plural.
Are celebrated, right? So that's are. Like, you mean the ending? Why are we putting hai? Is that the question?
Haan ji.
Okay, so because it's many festivals, so you're ending it with that. Right? Cricket खेला जाता है, त्योहार बहुत त्योहार, like I'm saying many festivals celebrate किए जाते हैं. So it's basically, you know, you're starting the noun that you have here, many festivals is masculine plural, right? Like same thing if I say कि वे जाते हैं, like they you know they go. Okay, वे market जाते हैं. There I will say hai with an nasalized sound. That's why we are saying that here. Yeah. Hang in there. If it is still not clear, we can talk more more on it. Okay. So let's say the next one I want to spend more time on it, and after that, hopefully it will be clear. Okay. So let's say I want to say in the morning. In the morning, tea and coffee is consumed. It's basically to drink, but in the past I'm just writing in consume. Okay, drink. Okay, Yirka ji, you want to give it a try? How will you say this?
So I have to break it down.
Break it down. Yeah. Let's try with this one. Tea is consumed.
Okay, so tea is chai. Consumed, you mean maybe pee jati.
Very good. Chai pee
Jati. Maybe hai.
Yeah, very good. Chai pee jati hai. Okay.
In the morning, it's shubha pe or
सुबह में, or you can say it twice. सुबह सुबह,
Uh-huh.
सुबह सुबह यहाँ चाय पी जाती है. That's right. That's exactly right. And that's exactly the process you all have to follow. Break it down.
I'm happy.
What?
I'm
Yes.
happy.
I am too. Right? सुबह सुबह यहाँ चाय पी जाती है. Okay. Same thing. You can talk about your city. What is the commonly known drink, that people consume in the morning? Like, you're not saying like, the focus here is not again like the subject. By who? We are not saying by who. It's implied that, it's, if Zirka is saying it, he's talking about, the topic we're really talking about, right? I mean, which is, it could be his city or it could be where he is currently. Okay. In this case, let's say if I'm talking about India, yahan subah subah chai pi jati hai. Okay. Now let's say I want to say North India, in North India, dal and roti is, is consumed. How will I say that? Someone who is not right. Rita ji, why don't you give it a try?
I knew you would pick me. Uttar Bharat mein dal aur roti खाए जाते हैं.
Dal or roti. Now, who here is because it's
The roti is feminine though.
dal is feminine.
Yeah, so खाई jati hai. They're both feminine.
Dal or roti khai.
खाई jati hai.
Awesome. Uttar Bharat mein. Now, for those of you, Uttar Bharat is nothing but North India, so don't get intimidated by that. Right? In North India, so Uttar Bharat is North India. You can say North India mein dal, and again, don't pick on this one. There are many things that are being consumed, so it's not a stereotype here.
And Ashu Ji, just to be clear, so if you wanted to say a masculine and a feminine noun, then the conjugation of the kana jata would take the gender of the second noun.
That's right. That is exactly right. Okay. So Uttar Bharat mein, roti or dal khai jati or dal or roti khai jati hai. Okay. She's saying like in this case, both of them are feminine. What if one thing is masculine and one is feminine? Okay. How will this part work? So the rule is it's whatever the gender of the second part. In this case, because roti is feminine, both of them are feminine. But let's say if this was masculine, I'm thinking now. So let's say I'm going to say samosa, which is a very weird example, right? Samosa or roti khai jati hai. Okay. If roti is coming first, you will use samosa and then you will say khaye jate hain. Okay. Hopefully this is clear, right? Hopefully this is clear. Okay. And let's try one more. Like South India, I'm going to say rasam and rice are consumed. Who would like to give it a try? Anyone? Tara ji?
दक्षिण भारत में
Okay. दक्षिण भारत में
what and what?
Okay, that's it. And then
Chawal
or
rice
rasam.
is chawal.
Chawal is rice, that's right. And rasam is like a drink. Not a drink, but like a you should have
खाए जाते हैं.
खाए जाते हैं. Okay. Chawal or rice खाए जाते हैं. Okay. Hopefully this is clear. Okay. Any questions so far before I ask you guys questions?
What is rasam?
Rasam. Okay. I'll have Radhika ji and Nandini ji tell you. What is rasam?
It's a soup.
It's a soup.
Okay.
What kind of soup?
That's an insult to rasam, but it is.
Say it again.
No, calling it a soup is an insult to rasam.
Yeah, see, I don't want to say that. That's why I like you can do the justice to that. So tell us what it is.
Well, rasam is mulgatani soup actually. That's where it came from. Mulgatani soup is pepper rasam.
Okay, how do you make it? In short.
Radhika would be better because I make horrible rasam.
It's made by tur dal and a lot of tomatoes and some imli, like a tamarind.
Tamarind. So you take a lot of lentils and then tomato.
You don't need a lot of lentils. Actually, it will be very liquidy form, so it needs some lentils.
Okay.
Lot of tomatoes and curry leaves and coriander, black pepper, rasa powder to go with. King, common thing.
My grandma used to call it pepper water.
Pepper water. Nice.
You can do 100 types of rasam. So it depends which one you're doing.
But from my understanding, they're taking it after their meal, right? It's for digestion, isn't it?
No.
Acha.
It goes with the rice. It's just like even main course. Yeah.
It is. Okay. All right.
Okay, great. So after this, my ask to you guys, which is the homework exercise, all the things that we have done so far, which is like, which language is spoken in the country, which game is played, which food is consumed, which festivals are celebrated. All of these are passive voices. These are very basic sentences. Okay, these are very handy because you can give tour and orientation of your city to anyone. Okay, you can say that in Hindi. So this is your homework exercise. You can take this template as it is, say it in Hindi for your area. Okay, and then write it down, all the sentences, and post it. You can do it now or you can do it in homework, however it works. Okay, you can do it in breakout room also today if it helps, so that at least you are giving, each of you have the chance to give orientation of your city to other person in Hindi. Okay, let's get going. So I have to pick up the pace now because I'm going pretty slow. So now, so far you are in present indefinite. Now we are in present continuous. Okay, so now present continuous, which is case number 2. Let's say, your sentence is movie is being shown. Movie is being shown. Okay, by this ing you have to make sense that this is in present continuous. Okay, movie is being shown. How do we say that in Hindi? Okay, let's say you go to like right now you want to say that, oh, in this place movie is being shown right now. Okay, Leah ji, you want to give it a try? Don't hate me for that. Give it a try. Okay.
Okay, movie. Is it feminine, right? It is feminine. Oh, right.
Feminine.
Dekhi.
Okay, so to see is dekhna.
Dekha.
To show is
Dekhana.
very good. Dikhana.
With an A? No? Dikhana with, yeah.
So to see is dekhna.
Okay.
So is dikhana.
Dikai.
Very good. Movie dikhai.
No? Dikai. I don't know if you don't hear me because it's interrupts from time to time. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
I can hear you. Right?
Okay. Ja. Okay, just a second. Ja rahi hai.
Very good.
No?
Movie dikhai. Awesome. This is great. Great. Okay. Movie dikhai ja rahi hai. Okay. So you see, it was so easy, right? You take the verb, which is in this case to show. Okay. You need to know the verb. In the case of to see is dekhna, like मैं movie dekhta hu, versus it's shown to me. Okay. To show is dikhana. So what she did was she removed the na. Okay, she said in the past tense because it's dikha, you will conjugate it with, remember, because it's vowel, you will have ya, ye, yi, or yi. Okay, and because movie is feminine, she said movie dikhai. Okay, now you can say what happened, it was jana, that was the auxiliary verb, but because it's present continuous, you remove the noun and you put rahi hai. Okay, rahi hai because it's movie. Okay, same thing if I say were to ask you someone like cricket is being played here, okay, or football is being played, how will I say that? Kinga, you want to try it out? Football is being played.
Football खेला जा रहा है.
Very good, right? Now, Yirka, how will I say Hindi is being spoken?
Okay. Hindi boli ja rahi hai.
Awesome. Let's say Jenny, how will I say tea is being made?
Chai is feminine or masculine?
Chai is feminine.
Okay. Chai banai ja rahi hai.
Awesome. Chai banai ja rahi hai. You see, it's coming slowly. Okay. Who would say that? Kelly, food is being served.
To serve. To serve, verb kya hai?
Okay. You can say serve karna, if that helps right now.
Serve karna. Okay. Let's see. So, kana serve kiya ja raha hai.
Very good. Khana serve kiya ja raha hai. You can use parosna also.
Oh,
That's
parosna. Okay.
How will you say now?
Let's see. Abhi kana kana parosa ja raha hai.
Great. Khana parosa ja raha hai. Okay, awesome. Any questions, anyone, so far on the present continuous part? Thoughts? At least you are new. I don't want to put you on spot, but give us your thoughts. Is it easy to follow? Too hard? You can unmute and share your thoughts.
No, the explanation is clear. Yeah,
Clear?
yeah. I just studied present perfect, so it's the same construction. So I know how to construct dikai or parosi, but I'm a bit behind. I think the others know me what words me. But
Don't
anyway,
worry about it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just want to make sure. If it is too hard, if it is too confusing, feel free to be brutally honest. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's get going. So this was present continuous. Okay, remember the focus. This part should be clear. Ja raha hai, right? Ja rahi hai, ja rahe hain, or this part should be clear. It's really about, again, like getting down to the verb here. Okay. Yeah.
Another question, sorry again. Parosna is to serve. How is this in the past? Parosna?
Parosa.
Parosa. Okay.
Remember, remove na. There's no vowel, so a, because khana. So khana is masculine singular. If it is lassi that is being served, lassi parosi ja rahi hai. Even though we don't use that word, but because mango lassi, you can say it's a feminine word, right? So it's then it's e. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And if it is a lot of laddus, you can say laddu parose ja rahe hain, right? Because that's plural. Hopefully this is clear. Okay, so now let's go to the case 3, which is past. I'm splitting it down because then you can easily have the mental map, right, of different tenses. I think that in my mind, that strategy is better rather than just like clubbing all different kind of sentences in just one set of examples. I think now if you go to Rupert Schnell's example, they'll probably make more sense, right? Because you can put them in different buckets. Yeah. So So now let's go to past indefinite. Okay, I'm going to write down a different example, like food was cooked. You see that it's past tense, it's past indefinite. That's how, like, if you want to say Anna cooked food. This is the sentence written in past indefinite. You know the subject, the action she performed, which is cooked, and then food. Okay. Here we know the subject. In this case, we don't know who cooked it. We're just saying it that, because we are more interested in food. Food was cooked. Okay. How do we say that in in Hindi? Okay. Anna, you want to give it try?
Khana paka gaya.
Khana, very good. Khana. What is the word to cook is?
Pakana or something?
Yes, pakana.
Use pakaya, right? Or not? No, pakaya gaya.
Very good. So the verb here, that was the important part. Like we said, it has to be some form of jana. Okay. Why did you change it to something else? You want to explain more?
I think this is irregular now, right? So it becomes to gaya.
That's right. So first part is she removed the na and she noticed that there's a vowel sound to it. Okay. Paka, and now she's saying because it's khana, masculine singular, she can put ya at the end of it. So it becomes khana pakaya. Okay. Now she's saying, if it is present case, it would be yahan roti pakai jati hai. Okay. Or roti pakai ja rahi hai if it is present continuous. But it is past indefinite. So she will use the past form of jana, which is Anna?
Gaya.
Khana pakaya gaya. Okay, khana pakaya gaya. You want to give different examples of where you are using all different cases. Gaya, gai, gaye, and gai. Khana pakaya gaya. Let's say you want to say roti was cooked or roti was made.
Khana pakai gai.
So let's say you want to say roti was made.
Was made. Okay. Roti banai gai.
Roti banai gai. Awesome. Okay. You want to say laddus were made. Laddus is nothing but, as you know, Indian dessert. Like,
Okay. Then laddus banai gai.
Okay, very good. You definitely have to try it now. Okay, so this week your homework is really figure out what laddus are. Get them from some Indian store. Okay, laddu banaye gaye. Awesome. Okay, another one, like you want to say that you went to the an Indian wedding, let's say, and then you want to say jalebis. Jalebi is also like a dessert, but in this case it's a plural. Okay, feminine plural. So you want to say, just like ladki becomes ladkiyan, jalebi is the word for the sweet here. So it would be.
So jalebi, yeah, or not? I don't know.
Yeah. That's right. Jalebi.
Banai gai.
That's right. Jalebiyan banai gai. Any questions so far on this one? Anyone?
So the second word is always going to be past tense, even if the thing is going to be in present. So like jalebi banai hai, or I'm sorry, jalebi banai jati.
If you want to say in some part of your city, like let's say you want to say in Pushkar, every morning jalebiyans are being made, or jalebiyans are made. You can say jalebiyan yahan banai jati hai. Okay, that's right. The second part is it really follows in which case you are saying it. If you're saying it that it is they are made on a regular basis, then it's present case. If you want to say it is being done right now, then it's present continuous. Okay. If you're describing an event in the past, past indefinite. Does that answer your question, Vedant?
Yeah, well, just a follow-up real quick on that then. If I want to say if jalebis are being made, it'd be jalebiye banai ja rahi hai.
That's right. Jalebiyan banai ja rahi hai. Okay.
Banai. So the banai will always be the same no matter what.
That's right. Banai. That's
Got it.
right.
That
Yeah.
answers my
So
question.
this is like, let's say you are a news reporter, like and you want to really describe what is being done, like in a particular event right now as you are reporting live. You're not going to say this person is making, jalebi or the sweet. You are focused on things that are being made, right? So that's what you will say there. Yeah. Awesome. So I know we are short of time, so I'm going to quickly do the past continuous, which is case 4. I mean, again, this topic is going to go for next week as well, so I'm not too worried even if you're going a bit slow, as long as most of you, in fact, all of you are able to follow it, right? I mean, that's the main goal. So we'll quickly finish up past continuous, and then you'll do a short breakout room. Okay, past continuous. So let's say you want to say they were being ticketed. Okay, so the example here is they were being ticketed. So I mean, I don't know if it makes sense, but like in most of the countries, even in the US as well, like if you don't park your car properly in a proper parking spot, you get a ticket, like a citation. Okay, and in this examples, you are describing an event where people who didn't park the car properly, they were being given tickets. Okay, how will you say that in Hindi? Chanel? This is hard. Them.
वे टिकट मिले जा रहे.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no. Oh. Oh. उनके.
Unko. To them.
उनको.
Use the word dena here. Tickets were being, they were being ticketed. So they were given, they were being, okay. So think of the verb ticket dena.
उनको टिकट दिए. जा रहे थे.
उनको टिकट दिए जा रहे थे. Okay, past continuous. Okay, जा रहे थे. Okay, why don't we pick it up next week? Actually, I don't feel like I should rush. Okay, to just finish the topic. Okay, so we'll pick up again from past continuous. So far we've done 3 cases. Okay, we learned the basic formations of verb formation.
Ashu Ji,
Yeah.
I have one question. Oh,
Yeah.
I never have questions. This last sentence, I'm a little bit confused because we use die. Why? Not dia?
Oh, sorry. It should be tickets.
Or the. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll do breakout room. Okay. Multiple things you can do. You can talk about, as I said, the breakout rooms are fun activity for you. And if you have to leave for some reason, don't feel obliged. You're welcome to leave. But this is really your opportunity to discuss any questions or confusions with your colleagues. The topic is really you tell them about your city, what is being consumed in the morning, which language is spoken, which games are being played, are played, or which festivals are celebrated, And that's good for you too. Okay, no problem, Deviji. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to just do short breakout rooms, and I'm going to be there in each of the breakout rooms to make sure that I can answer any of the questions. Okay, so you will be prompted to join the breakout room.